One of the cases that I tried and was featured in an article in last year's Lawyer newspaper was our client who slipped and fell on a patch of black ice outside of a hotel. It was an unwitnessed fall in Springfield, Missouri. Our client slipped and fell and injured himself. He got medical 4 days later, but was not diagnosed with significant medical care until about 5 months later. And that sounds like a problem, right? Well, we were very aggressive in the case. Good for us is that he didn't report it to the manager right away, and he had taken a picture of the salt that was on his coat. And so we knew that it had been salted. We were able to get a $250,000 recovery for our client. We paid off all his medical, put a lot of money in his pocket. We reduced all the medical liens, as we always do, and it was significant enough to be written about by one of the reporters of the Missouri Lawyers Weekly. One of the things that, and we happen to be recording this video, if you watch it in the summer, you won't appreciate it, but we happen to be recording this video on, John, how cold was it this morning when you woke up? 1, 3?
I think maybe 4 degrees. Something.
Yeah, it was freezing this morning. We're recording this in January. John, what can you talk to us a little bit about? This is John Burns of Berger Law. John, talk to the folks a little bit about snow and ice falls and the interesting law that we have surrounding that.
Sure. So just because snow is on, for example, say a parking lot, and just because it snows and there's snow or ice on a parking lot, does not necessarily mean that the landowner has to clear that snow off of the parking lot. However, if the landowner does undertake to clear the snow or the ice off of the parking lot and does it negligently, then they are liable for that. Now there are exceptions to that, of course. If the snow comes down in a particular way, where it's uniquely accumulating in one particular area, so that the landowner should have known to take ordinary care to clean that up, then they can also be liable.
Right. So and we in the Midwest, we're the thawing and refreezing capital of the world. This happens all the time, where the stuff melts, and then one day it's 50, the next day it's 20. I mean, and this just happened, and we get that all the time. And so when that thaws and refreezes, and that happened in this case right here. And so they denied that in this case, so I took a video deposition of the defendant, and he said he didn't know about any problems, and it happened near a gutter. And I showed him a picture where they had a bucket sitting underneath one of their gutters to collect the dripping. I said, why do you have this bucket here? And he's like, oh, I guess we knew about it. And then he ended up admitting that they knew it was a problem, that they had encountered the problem before, that they knew ice refroze in that area. Because, where there's smoke, there's fire. If someone gets injured in this type of a thing, it ain't the first time it's happened, and most of the time these landowners know. But you make a good point, John, too, that in Missouri and in Illinois and most other states, it's considered in the law that snow and ice is an act of God, and someone's not necessarily responsible for it. However, if they do take action, do it negligently, like failure to shovel everywhere, shovel off the snow but leave the ice, only put some ice melt down and not reapply, or not put out the ice melt before it freezes. There's a host of other ways where they're negligent. And if you're in the business where you're bringing in customers and you're not closing when it's snowy and icy out, you're responsible if people fall and injure themselves. What are some of the things that when we talk to clients about this, what do we ask them to identify and talk to us about in these types of claims?
Well, obviously, we would want to know whether or not they witnessed anybody putting out salt or shoveling snow, clearing ice. If they have any photos of shoveling snow or clearing ice, or photos of the injury, how they fell, how they landed, the parts of the body that were injured, stuff like that.
All right.